Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday night edition of the Midwest F1 League. I'm your host, Crash McQueen, and tonight we will be in Monaco. If you haven't seen the title, F2 is going to retry what was week 1 in a little bit of an unfortunate situation. So there you can see the Monaco Grand Prix up on your screen right now. We'll get on board with let's see who we've got here. I think I'm kind of feeling El Majaco here this evening. We'll see what El Majaco can bring us. As he comes up the hill, swinging around turn 4. Let's see what he can do coming up into this hairpin here. Got to take a clean line. Currently sitting third. Got a little bit more room here with the F2 cars, and he makes it very valuable to him, taking a little bit sharper of a turn coming around the hairpin there. Comes around the final right-hander before we get to a high-speed tunnel there. As we come into the tunnel, we have a late brake, trying to keep the car on track. Does so very well. And entering the swimming pool section. Oh, unfortunately he loses it there, and he's going to go all the way down the order. Still sitting 10th in possible bacon. He's all the way up at the top. Let's see if he can finish in first place. And it looks like he's going to take pole here as he comes over the line with a 120 and is the only driver to go in the 120s here. So putting up a really solid time here is Impossible Bacon. Ray and Ninas the only drivers to go in the 121s. Giroud and Hotspot in the 122s. Knuckles, Jeanette, and A. Daltoni in the 23s. Jacko and JC Blackley in the 24s. Marky Mark Gaming in 11th. And with the 142, I believe that was Nikki. Go through our qualifying order here once again, and then I'll quickly bring back up the track map here. We see Impossible Bacon coming over with pole, Ray second, Super Ninas third, Giroud fourth, Hotspot in fifth, Knuckles sixth, Jeanette seventh, A. Daltoni eighth, El Majaco ninth, JC 10th, and the back half we see Marky Mark Gaming, Nikki at last two to finish with a time, disqualification to Kaz, no times from Chunky Corgi, Young, DJ CJ, VTech, and Team B7 Racing. But like I said, quickly we'll pull up the track map. Now the fastest lap and the fastest qualifying lap are our F1 cars, so don't take those into account, as these guys would be, what was it, 10 seconds off the pace. And 10 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but at Monaco it is. But 19 turns makes up this circuit. Only one DRS zone, if you can really count it as much. Very tough to pass. In Formula 1 and F2 it is deemed a lot easier. Yeah, you can consider it a lot easier, but as we come through Sector 1, we see it is made up of 4 turns, all the way up to turn 5. Casino is the last turn in that section, and then Sector 2 is actually made up of 7 turns. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Wow, that was way off. 10 turns, of course, having the famous swimming pool sections, as well as the Nouvelle Chicane and the tunnel. And then Sector 3, of course, is very, very tight sector, but still a very challenging one and a very exciting one here. But we're about to get into it. As the lights go out, we go racing here in Monaco. Super Ninas tries to line up the inside line, but it's actually Ray going very deep, and we look at turn 1 and it seems to be having a little bit of wings flying. Or actually, no, I think it was actually fairly clean there. We jump on Hotspot as he comes up the hill here. Ninas going very deep. Hotspot getting a little bit overexcited there and bumping into the wall. We'll go back on his teammate Jeanette. Actually, no, we'll see if Hotspot has sustained damage. Yes, he has early on here. So get your wing counter out here, folks, as it's going to be a long one. Giroud down into 7th. Jack already making up a couple places, now in 6th. Impossible Bacon with an early 3-second time penalty, maybe completely cutting the entire chicane or the entire hairpin there. get back on board with Jin here. We'll see if the teammates are going to be friendly to each other here. Hotspot did sustain that damage there, and Jin is looking fairly good. And we know what kind of pace that he can hold, and it looks like Hotspot's already falling off a little bit the pace, but actually Jin doesn't get a good run out of the Nouvelle Chicane. As we come through the swimming pool section, this track looks so much wider in the F2 cars. It's actually nice to see, not gonna lie. But well, actually, I'm expecting a pretty good race here. Looks like we got, oh, Giroud is gone. See if I can get it. And oh my God, is he ever? Can we get one more quick look at young DJ CJ's car there? And yeah, unfortunately, that's all she wrote for Giroud in the feature race here. Jin does get a loud pass by his teammate, and Fossil Bacon still with that time penalty up in first place. Ninas is going to try and stay close to him. I've got to keep an eye on damage as much as times here. So no damage to Ninas, as well as I'll bring up telemetry and lap data here. A Daltonian is right behind Marky Mark Gaming here, as this pack is starting to fall back a little bit. So maybe AE is going to want to try and get past him as soon as possible. A little bit of a line was shown there for AE at moments, but Marky Mark closes it right down. Getting really heavy on the throttle coming through and making up some real pace, finishing up Sector 2. But AE's got the speed coming through the tunnel, and he's going to look at the inside line, but ooh, Marky Mark actually gave him a line there. But I don't think AE wanted to stick his nose in there. Oh my God, this is actually some close racing here. Marky Mark still holding on to 7th place there. AE not feeling comfortable enough to poke his nose in there, and Possible setting the fastest lap as he opens up a gap to Super Ninas. A little bit of oversteer there from Marky Mark Gaming here, and a little bit more is still on lap 2, so no DRS to help out A Daltonian here. He's right on the tail of Marky Mark. He's going to line up a good run. Oh, not quite good enough there out of Saint Devote. Up the hill we go, and A Daltonian's still all over, and it's actually JC Blackley getting a move done. And now he's right alongside him, as you can see, just a couple of turns ahead, but just couldn't get past him there. Jin has closed the gap to Ray for 3rd place here. Can Jin get past Ray and find himself up on the podium position? Initially off of Ray's start, Jin has moved up 3 spots. Jesus, I spun and some guy just rammed me into 300 kilometers an hour. Yeah, you didn't look like you were sitting in too hot of a spot there, Giroud. And oh, finally AE gets past Marky Mark, but I'm not sure what happened. And now JC Blackley gets Marky Mark as well. Jin, as I just go off of his POV, ends up getting Ray. Now Jin's going to try and hunt down the leaders here. Possible sending another fastest lap. Knuckles and Marky Mark are battling it out there, as well as Chunky Corgi, and Nicky is Chunky tries to stick his nose down, and oh, Kaz flies around the outside and ends up losing up his right end plate as we come around the final turn here. Down the pit straight we go. Knuckles still trying to hunt down Marky Mark. Ever since JC Blackley was able to overtake Marky Mark, he's opened up nearly a 3-second gap. Marky Mark does have a 3-second time penalty as well. Jacko is draped all over Hotspot here. We'll go over to that in a second, as AE still trying to get around. Looking at a switchback here. Trying to get good traction out of the turn. Wants to dive down to the inside. A little bit of contact. Is enough for you? Yes, it is. Got a little bit of end plate damage there as well, so that's going to hurt AE Daltonian. Or sorry, that's Knuckles. Where's AE? Oh, AE passed him a while ago. Oopsie. Kaz and Nicky, the 2 teammates battling out. A little bit of contact between them. And Kaz closed the door on Nicky. Knuckles is doing his best to try and hunt down Marky Mark as we come through the tunnel. Marky Mark tries to brake late, and that opens up the line for the Knuckles, and Knuckles is going to be able to send it around the outside here as we enter the swimming pool section. And a little bit of contact, and oh, I didn't get the best of look at that, but Maybe Marky Mark might have turned a little bit late on that one, but I can't say for sure. Like I said, I did not have the best viewing angle. Jin is still in third place, did just recently set a fastest lap. Marky Mark going a little bit deep, and he's going to come into the pit. Did someone just punt Kaz? I'm not too sure, but Chunky Corgi is now up into 10th place, Nikki down in 11th. We'll take a look at the position changes out of the gate. 5 laps done here. Elmo Jacko's moved up 4 spots. Really started to open up here, other than this midfield pack, this ladder field pack, I guess we can call them. Led right now by Kaz. At one point had around 7 to 11. 7th place to 11th place. Now it's just kind of dwindled down from 9th to 11th as some of the drivers have broken away up ahead, and a couple of them come into the pits. But we trek forward, still plenty of laps to go. 5 of 21 in this sprint, or in this feature race, with the sprint race to follow. Monaco has actually been producing a fairly decent product here in racing quality. It's not just a pit stop battle here. There's actually been a couple battles on track, and it has showed its teeth, to say the least, with the amount of wings that we've already lost right out of the gate. But you know what, we can get back on the battle with Knuckles and Marky Mark. Onto the super soft, both drivers go. Ninas has really caught Impossible Bacon. I wonder if there's some damage to Impossible. No, he doesn't seem to have any damage. The car with damage is actually Super Ninas, the one in behind, and Jin at Twinin has caught both of the drivers now, so Jin would overtake both drivers if it were to finish right now, but of course it does not, only on lap 6 of 21. Back onto the battle of Knuckles and Marky Mark. Knuckles is just needing to get past. It's in his DNA to be past Marky Mark, but for whatever reason, he's just slowed up, and Marky Mark nearly gets a piece of that wall as he dives into that. And nearly gets a piece of that wall as he dives out of it. But he gets a good enough run to not be able to warrant a defense going into St. Devoux. And yes, we're okay again. And Marky Mark gets a little bit of oversteer coming out of turn 1. Up the hill we go. Through Beau Rivage. In through turn 3, and Marky Mark still holding Knuckles off. And oh no, Knuckles unfortunately getting a little bit of oversteer coming out of turn 3 and hitting the outside wall of Casino, turn 4. Now he's got a little bit of wing damage, just Knuckles, and we'll see how well he's going to be able to fight with that little bit of hindrance from this point forward. But we'll jump back up to the lead group here. Jinnit is still within a second of these two guys up ahead. Impossible and Jin, of course, Mercedes teammates of last season. Now competing against each other in Formula 2, as well as competing against each other in Division 1. The team was not reformed. Both drivers went their separate ways. How did that go, actually? Let me see. I'll pull up the history on that. While I do that, we'll stay on the battle here as Jin's trying to hunt down these two drivers. Nikki and Chunky Corgi actually seem to be fairly close here. Oh, as they are more than a little close here. Nikki felt like he had the inside line there. And finally, Knuckles overtakes. Oh no, Knuckles overshoots turn 1. And then bounces off the wall into Marky Mark. And now Knuckles has to redo it all over again. How much damage is... Yeah, Knuckles has got some major damage. So he's going to have to come into the pit. See if I can get an angle at Marky Mark's wing here, and then we'll jump back up. So Marky Mark is actually sitting fairly well, only missing the left end plate here. Team V7 Racing does get out of the way. Oh, okay, so I went back and it was actually Scavney that took Impossible Bacon first overall. So Jin never even had the opportunity to get back with Impossible. And as well, speak of Impossible representing the Williams, him and Scavney are currently leading the Constructors' Championship this year. And I believe that this year, in comparison to others, is going to be a very interesting one. We have a yellow flag in Sector 3, but that seems to be okay. We have 2 drivers into the pit, Team B7 Racing and Knuckles once again after the damage. We finished up Sector 1. Oh, who's... Oh no. Oh. Who was that? That was Marky Mark. Marky Mark just could not get out of the way. And now that's pushed Jin all the way back. We'll see what Jin's made of here. He's got 5 seconds to try and close to Impossible and Ninas. Now Impossible initially set the fastest lap, but it was taken by Jin to win it a couple laps later. Impossible trying to find some early pace. Did break away at one point, but Jin and Ninas did catch him, and then Jin unfortunately getting into that little bit of scuffle at the hairpin. So we'll get on board with the leader actually, Impossible Bacon. He's entering Sector 2. We'll take a look at his line. Fairly clean one. And using up as much of the track as he can. He's taking fairly clean lines here as we come into turn 10 and 11. Ooh, it gets very close to the wall coming out of turn 11. Exiting the Nouvelle Chicane and into the swimming pool section we go, and it's actually Kaz. I believe he's retired in the pit. Yes, I think he has. And Impossible has actually opened up a little bit bigger of a gap to Ninas here. This has looked like actually a really good lap for Impossible. He hasn't seemed to have gotten any turns wrong. Kaz retiring in the pit, but you gotta love when this game brings him back out to retire him on track. Oh my god, that was close. Please, Jin, don't hit him. And now Ray. It's actually Chunky Corgi. Oh my god. What is going on? That car is retired, but it keeps going. Oh no, is that Knuckles spun around? Yes, it is, and another wing change will be in the cards for Knuckles. Now Super Ninas and Impossible Bacon come through Nouvelle Chicane together, and it looks like Kaz has finally pulled off to the side. I believe that's A. Daltonian, yeah. Oh my god, it drove all the way over there to retire. Well, anywho. 2 drivers out, 15 remain. Super Ninas drifts around that final turn there. So we'll see how many drivers are still on the lead lap here, actually. Still have 9 drivers on the lead lap. Fastest lap still with Jinna to win it. We may see, I imagine we're going to see that change a little later on. Closest battle on track is between Super Ninas and Impossible Bacon, but I don't think we're going to be seeing any attempted overtakes here. Jin has actually caught, or is actually getting closer, sorry. And Ninas actually picking up another penalty. In a place where it's tough to get penalties, Ninas has found a way to get 2. So yeah, there we go. Pit stops, Knuckles with 2, Mark Gaming with 2, Team B7 Racing with 2, Nikki with 1, and Chunky with 1. So Monaco is as tough as keeping it straight, as well as a level head to not try and do too much. It's fairly obvious that it's a race of survival, if you will, and unfortunately in some cases you have to treat it as one. Sorry. So, with treating it as one, even though you will maybe get a few wing changes here or there, you know, don't drop your head, stay focused, get back out there, and try and stay clean from that point forward, because if you do, other people may lose, other people may have to come in for mandatory wing changes, and if they do, then you catch up on a pit stop, and if they have to do it again, then you overtake, and there we go, another penalty to Super Nunez. So it's 9 seconds, just over halfway done this race. He's not on pace for a good, as he really comes up and over turn 15 and 16, or turn 16, sorry. And a little bit of contact with the wall, not enough to break an end plate as he's in the Virtusi of Guan Yu Zhou. Team B7 Racing gets Marky Mark. Was there a little bit of contact there? And yeah, major contact, as Marky Mark has no wing left. Hotspot picking up a penalty as well. El Majaco's into the pit. I believe he's the first. Well, not the first, but he's one of the drivers that didn't crash out. And he actually is coming in for a wing change as well. And Super got really close to the end wall there. He's still only missing his right end plate. I'm not sure if Ninas will ask for a new wing. I'd imagine not, because he's doing fairly well without it. Impossible Bacon doesn't need one, and oh, was that his, or no, that wasn't his? Oh, and what happened there? Oh my god! Was there a contact? IDK how Mark didn't lose the entire front wing. He literally rammed into me in the wall and I was pretty far away from it. Oh my. Now if there's any place I guess you want to do that crash, there would be it. Is Impossible actually stays out. I don't know why Impossible didn't come in. He's got very minimal left of a front wing. Super has just come out of the pit. Jin was kind of left free, and this is going to work wonders for Jin now, as he did catch both drivers, and now he's got clean air ahead of him, where at one point with the two drivers ahead of him, he was being majorly held back. Oh, and what's going on? Is that Marky Mark in an awkward spot? Yes, it is. Oh no, oh, luckily that ghosted. Oh, that didn't ghost. Oh my god, no, watch out. Oh my god, no. Oh god. Okay. Oh. That's not what you want to see at all. Not at all. Unfortunate stuff. How's the audio there, William Rod, which I'm assuming is Giroud. Or Giroud. The VSC is actually deployed here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, I believe, is left. No, 12. 12 drivers. A VSC is out. Now, this is, I'm looking at Knuckles here, because he had, and as well I guess a Chunky Corgi and Team B7 Racing, both having to pit twice very early on due to damages, and now find themselves up a couple places higher because of the unfortunate situation that just happened with Nikki, Marky Mark Gaming, and AE Daltonian. So they will end up taking some positions at some point. Is Impossible still yet to pit? Yeah, he's still yet to pit, even with the major damage. Jinnit will surely hold the lead in this race, and it's all set up for him, Jin, to take the win here. Representing the camp host is Jin, and of course the car of Jack Aitken. I believe from that some say Jack Aitken is the most mid-tier driver. Or what is it? Does anyone know? Most underwhelming driver ever? Is that it? I'm not sure. Hotspot is into the pit, currently sitting 4th. Where's Jacko here? Jacko's coming around the final turn. Hotspot just finishing up his pit stop. Jacko moves up as he undercuts Hotspot. Jacko has now moved up 5 positions. It's a very solid race, and oh no, who has spun out there? That's Ray. Any damage is looking like right end plate there. See if we can get a good angle at that. Actually, very minimal wing left there for Ray. Was that a purple sector won by Jin? Maybe he might be looking to improve on his fastest lap. We'll take a peek at what it is right now, 121.666. Impossible finally into the pit. Jin up into 1st, as well as taking fastest lap by over a second. Did Super Ninas improve his? It didn't look like he improved his at all. Still having his fastest lap from before. Impossible's finally out of the pit. Maybe with some fresher tire. I don't think Jacko's got a chance at the podium here unless major problems happen to Impossible. Impossible simply has to keep it clean, and the win, and the 3rd place will go his way. Super Ninas is currently set for 2nd, and Jin, even with the penalty, still sitting pretty up in 1st place. Actually picks up that through the Nouvelle chicane, and is 4/10 off his initial fastest lap he just set a lap ago. JC is absolutely all over Ray here, as Ray's just going to try and fight this out with the damaged wing. So JC needs to get past him and then open 3 seconds And opening 3-second gap on Ray is probably the easier part. Even though with more room, because of the how slim, or actually, sorry, quickly to lose my train of thought, getting distracted by another thing. Jacko's only 2.5 seconds out of impossible, so that's something to keep our eye on there. Ray's just got to keep it clean, as JC's got 3 seconds worth of penalty, has to overtake him and get a 3-second gap. But like I was saying before, the overtake is probably the harder part between those two tasks for JC Blackley to get up into 6th, as Monaco, even with the F2, still doesn't offer a whole heck of a lot of pace, but we'll see what these drivers can do. And I have fallen victim many of times to doing that, JC. I get way too tight on the final turn through that corner, as well as there's another one on this track that I do that to as well. But I can't seem to remember. But anywho, if you like what you see, and as well as thank you for stopping in here this evening. Appreciate you wanting to come and check out what the Midwest F1 League has to offer. We'll be back tomorrow night after, of course, with our Division 1 race as well in Monaco. So if F2 isn't your cup of tea, don't worry, we got Formula 1 for you tomorrow. And now JC's trying to send it around the outside and gets a little bit of a wall. I'm not sure if that caused him any damage. And actually Ray has no wing left. Are these two on the lead lap? If they're a lap behind. No, I need to check with this, sorry. Okay, so they're still technically on the lead lap. So JC should be able to pull away. Let's see what Ray can do with no wing here. He's got no wing to lose. Yellow flag in Sector 1. I think that's Ray's teammate. Yes, it is. Now, both Carlins have no wings. Ray's kept it. Oh no! So this will actually be the last lap for JC Blackley and Ray. So Ray is 3.5 seconds back, but maybe another penalty to JC or a mistake from JC can allow Ray back up into 6th. We'll see how that goes. I don't think Elma Jacko is going to be able to close the gap to impossible unless of one more penalty. It is possible. Crazier things have happened. And Ray is continually losing time. But he can't lose any more wing, as there is none. Oh, thank you for the follow, Fragilities and RCG FIFA. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And as well from last week, I didn't think I was able to shout out a couple of these follows. Silent Reaper, Salt Miner Cod, YT Fortnite Duo, and Greasy Tom 69. Thank you, thank you. But yes, that will finish it up here. Oh, Jacko's really close. He's only 2/10. There must have been some major mistake from Impossible there, but he's a half a second off. And it doesn't look like Impossible, or it doesn't look like Jacko will be able to get it done. Valiant effort from Jacko, finishing 4th, starting 9th, I believe it was. Yes, he did. Started 9th. Ray finished a second off the pace of JC Blackley to finish 7th. JC getting 6th. Hot Spot, who we're on with, is currently 5th. He's going to finish 5th. And we got a couple drivers behind. Chunky Corgi in 9th. A lap behind. Young DJ CJ. Actually, sorry, Team B7 Racing is going to be the next over, and it doesn't look like... okay, yeah, he is lacking a little bit of downforce there. And young DJ CJ with 0 wing left is going to come over in 10th. Driver of the day goes to Vitek. I didn't say his name once. He must have picked up a decent amount of positions. Of course. A double British podium with Jinnen impossible. Splitting the two is the American of Super Ninas. Constructors, I believe, to Campos there, it looks like. Still a sprint race to get to. We've got the final standings here in the feature race. Once again, I will go through it with Jinna to win it first, Super Nina second, Impossible Bacon third, Jacko fourth, Hotspot fifth, JC Blackley sixth, Ray seventh, VTech eighth, Chunky ninth, Young DJ CJ in 10th, Knuckles in 11th, Team B7 Racing the last to finish, be that it may, 2 laps down, so still points. A Daltonian, Nikki, Marky Mark, Kaz, and Giroud. No points to you. But you still have a chance here in the sprint race. But anywho, I will give you a little bit of a sneak onto what is to come tomorrow evening, as once again we will be in Monaco with the Division 1s, and you can see how the standings sit currently after race week 1 in Spain. We see Mystic Joker leading the way, Scuba Steve second, and Hash the third, as that was your podium last week. Matt Rosie in 4th, Scabney 5th, Cake 6th, Impossible 7th, Haytite 8th, Yelmir 9th, and Smith Pell finishes in the top 10 of that race. And where is it? There we go, yes. And there we go. The constructor standings for you as well. Williams, like I said earlier, leading the way. Alpine second, closely followed. Actually, a close second and a close third between Alfa Romeo and Alpine. Red Bull fourth, AlphaTauri fifth, Ferrari sixth, Mercedes seventh, Haas eighth. Things did not go the way of McLaren and especially of Aston Martin. But once again, I'll bring up the track map for you here as we can look. Our fastest qualifying lap is a 1:09.002 set by Mystic Joker, and our fastest lap is set by Mayomir. I believe of last season, Mayo did that in Division 1. So be sure to tune in tomorrow, and you can see this list of drivers represent the Midwest F1 League here in Division 1, and I can be joined by my co-commentator Elma Jacko as we take you through what is the streets of Monaco here in Division 1. But we still have Formula 2 to get through, one more race yet to finish here. As we get back on, we're about to get underway. And the lights go out, and a good start from JC Blackley as JC tries to swing it around the outside. And okay, VTech VTech goes with the Ragunathan approach there, as we see a little bumping and grinding there as we come up the hill. We swing around turn 3. Okay, we're all very, very close here, but very respectable. Jinna is able to get VTech as he picks up a position starting down the order after the race win. JC Blackley has actually been losing a couple positions as he has damage. Doesn't look like yet, just losing him off of merit. Hotspot currently sitting second. Jinna actually is able to get JC Blackley as well as we come through the hairpin, or we finish up the hairpin. Everything looking fairly clean so far. Ray has grown himself a 1.5 lead. We'll take a quick look at position changes, and VTech has actually lost 7 positions right out of the gate. JC Blackley has lost 4, and Impossible Bacon with a 3-second penalty early on here as well. Elma Jacko and Hotspot, who are very familiar with each other, trying to battle it out through Sector 2. A little bit of contact, and VTech is losing some major positions, giving him up as it seems. Ray has actually worked up to a 2-second gap here with some clean air ahead of you in Monaco, it's unbelievable what you're able to accomplish. Adel, Tony, and Marky Mark Gaming are battling it out. I'm not sure what happened to Marky Mark there. He comes into the pit, though, as well as JC Blackley. We'll get back on with Elma Jacko as we can see him try and hunt down Hotspot up and around turn 3. And then through Casino, back down the hill. Little deep goes Jacko. Through the Grand Hotel hairpin here of turn 6. Jacko's trying to close the gap to Hotspot here. Ray's doing a brilliant job up in front. Now, these drivers are going to try and make these softs last the entire race here, so we may see an early fastest lap. Unless, actually no, I can't say that. There's probably going to be someone who requires a wing change. Now, usually I chalk that up to, if it were to happen, a commentator's curse. But coming to Monaco, I don't think I can really do any sort of curses, to be quite honest here. So I will just say someone's gonna, we already see Giroud onto the super soft, so Giroud has some pace and we'll see what he can do back in the back of the pack with some clean air. Ray setting the fastest lap, getting quickly ripped away by Janet Twin. Now we did see a 120, a low 120s I believe it was, fastest lap from Jin last race. So there is plenty of room to close that fastest lap. But all these drivers are staying in that conga line. Hotspot leads the way and Jacko can't get close enough. VTech got Team B7 racing. Team B7 is missing both end plates there. VTech as well missing his left end plate. We'll go down the order and we'll see if the damage. Ray's looking clean. Hotspot's looking clean. Actually look like this. Hotspot's looking clean. Impossible's looking clean. Ninas looking clean. As well as Jeanette looking clean. Actually, just Ninas. No, Ninas is good. All these drivers in the lead pack are good. They're all keeping very good pace and aren't giving each other much room to kind of... Oh, Ray actually smashes the initial fastest lap. I believe that was by Jacko. So Jacko, yeah, with the... And Jin actually improves on his as well. So Ray puts out an absolutely blistering pace of a lead lap there, and he's now grown the gap to a total of 4 seconds. We'll just say 4 seconds. Oh no, what has happened there? We'll be able to get a look at it. Young DJ CJ looks like he's crashed out at the end of the swimming pool section here. Not sure if Marky Mark will be able to come around in time for us to take a look at it. We'll get right on board. Yes, he will, and there is young DJ CJ. The car is taken away, so that won't affect the lead pack here. How's Giroud looking here? Ooh. Getting extremely aggressive over that turn 16. Yes, it was. I wanted to guess, but I had to make sure. I didn't guess. I thought I knew, but I just had to confirm my suspicion. So Giroud goes to the 122.7. He's got to look to take off a lot of time to be able to get fastest lap here on the super softs. VTech now catching the butt of Kaz, but a little bit of oversteer there through turn 14 will do that to you. Finds the inner wall. Ooh, Ninas is right by... Oh, Impossible is adding AI for a second there. And Ninas actually is overtaken by Jin as Jin sees a little bit of a gap. So it looks as though that Impossible paused for a second there, allowing the slower AI to take over. And with doing so, he's lost major time to Jacko ahead, and now he's got Jin draped all over him. And is Jin going to look into a move, tries to line one up, and tries to warrant the position alongside Impossible coming into the Nouvelle Chicane. But Impossible says, no, not enough room for you, good sir. Impossible's lost some major pace. Jin picks up a penalty. Jin, Impossible, and Ninaz all with penalties, all 3 seconds. Okay. But if you just joined in, this is the sprint race, the second of 2 races in the Midwest F1 League for this evening. Our win early on this evening went to Jinnit to win it. Second place went to Super Ninas, and third went to Impossible Bacon. Those 3 currently find themselves 4th, 5th, and 6th. And we have a new podium set to take that potentially might have a change up for second place here, as Jacko's draped all over Hotspot. And any sort of mistake from Hotspot, just like that, might see Jacko through, but unfortunately Monaco does not allow enough room for 2 drivers. And Jacko opens up a wide line through turn 18 and tries to cut it back through 19, getting the best exit he can, but it's just the straight isn't long enough, and Jacko can't get alongside into Saint Devote. And we still work our way through. Impossible has actually caught back up to Elma Jacko here. Now Jacko doesn't need to overtake Hotspot, he just needs to not get a penalty and force Hotspot into one. And if Hotspot gets as squirrely as he just was through the swimming pool section, and instead doing, oh whoa, did Jin to win it? Jin did take a position and then tries to stick his nose in somewhere that didn't belong on Jacko there, luckily not getting any end plate damage, having his wing still entirely intact. Giroud picking up another penalty in 14th now. Marky Mark Gaming getting out of the way of the pack there, and oh no, Impossible Bacon. I'm not sure what happened with that misjudging, and it looks like Hotspot actually got a little bit of damage there as well. Yes, he does. He's missing his front, of course it's his front, his left end plate. Impossible picks himself up. Oh my goodness. A back marker seemed to have gotten in the way there and has allowed Elma Jacko to get through. Now Elma Jacko is up into second, and he's going to try and open up a gap. And now Hotspot and Jin. We'll see how much actually Hotspot just allows Jin to go through. And the podium can still potentially happen here, but there's a lot to ask of to try and keep the pace of Jinnit to win it with that penalty. And Jin's already worked up a second gap between himself and his teammate. Jin's going to try and hunt down Elma Jacko. Jacko has 7 seconds of time to close on Ray. Ray's had quite the race of just having free space ahead to do whatever he needs to hold that lead. We'll take a quick peek at Ray to see if there's any damage, and no, he is looking very good and sitting in a very good spot here as well. Over halfway done our sprint race. I think that is Marky Mark allowing a Daltonian through. Yes, it is. The Dan's team of Impossible Bacon and Chunky Corgi are actually sitting fairly well here, 6th and 7th. They're looking to get some decent points. Oh. Jin doesn't get any end plate damage, and I don't know what to look for as of right now for rear damage, I guess. I'm not sure if they actually have that setting for Formula 2, or at least it turned on as well. But Jin and Jacko get very close coming up through the sweeping left-hander of turn 3, and contact was made. Jacko unfortunately turned into Jin a little bit, and Jin spun out, but was able to keep his wing entirely and is still sitting in 3rd place. Still has to close the gap to Jacko and overtake him, but things could be worse for you, Mr. Jin, so take it as it is. As we swerve through the swimming pool section, Ray is about to come over to start lap number 10. Putting in a decent time of a 1:23, a second and change off his pace. Super Ninas actually is able to get Hotspot. So now Hotspot is slowly moving down the order and with more and more damage. He's got Impossible Bacon, who's also got a little bit of damage, chasing him now, so let's see what Impossible can do. I didn't catch where or if Hotspot did make a little bit more contact with the wall, or I can't remember as well if he sustained that damage earlier. And Impossible does a good job of getting alongside, and a lovely overtake, and now Hotspot is actually going to battle this one out, so Impossible's got to go all the way there on the outside. Space was given by both drivers, but Impossible Bacon has more wing left in this battle and is able to get the overtake done. And Impossible back up into 4th, and now only 2.5 seconds off the pace of Super Ninas, with Super having 9 seconds worth of penalties. It's looking good for Impossible to finish with a 4th place position here. Now Chunky Corgi actually is trying to hunt down Hotspot as well, and Knuckles is not too far back off of Chunky in 8th, but a penalty of just 3 seconds to Knuckles is going to find himself moving down behind a Daltonian. Come up the hill, and Jin once again tries to outbrake Jacko, and then Jacko closes the door to Jin, and this is some real elbows out racing, let's just say. There's no room for Jin being given by Jacko. I believe Jin just absolutely blew off the Novell chicane. Jin is into the pit. Team B7 Racing is DNF'd. I think that's Ray. We'll get on board with Jacko and see if you can see Team B7 Racing. And oh, that is parked in a very peculiar spot. Watch out, Ninas. Oh, and the car is removed. And Marky Mark, ooh, just gets out of the way of Super Ninas and Impossible. On lap 12 we are. Knuckles is right on the back of Chunky Corgi. And Knuckles, if you can get past Chunky, you might be able to, might have the chance to actually open up the gap. Chunky, but he's got to do it real soon here. Having a much better sprint race than Feature is Chunky Corgi. And now Jin to win it is DNF'd as well. as his car is pulled off along the side. Not what you want to see. Impossible Bacon picking up another penalty. Still on this battle for third place here with Impossible and Ninas. Ninas has far more penalties than Impossible. 6 seconds worse, so Impossible virtually just needs to stay close here, and then the podium will go to him. But once again, I will give everyone a reminder, if you are interested in coming back and checking out what the Midwest F1 League has to offer, then come back tomorrow, starting at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Midwest goes live with myself, Crash McQueen, as well as my co-commentator Elma Jacko there up in second. Once again from the Monaco Grand Prix, our Division 1 season is well underway. Into race week 2 we go. The Division 1 boys have a lot, some of them have a lot to prove. Will this be a race where someone can once again cool off and extinguish Mystic Joker, or will Mystic make it back-to-back weeks in Season 4? Will he be able to catch up and beat his record, or is Division 1 getting a little bit too quick for Mystic? Only one way to find out, and that is to tune in tomorrow, as I said once again, starting at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern on this same place. That being the Midwest F1 Twitch channel, and if you like what you see, be sure to follow it. And I mean, I'm not going to be like, and smash that bell button. I mean, if you want to hit the bell, that'd be kind of cool, honestly, if someone's going to hit the bell. But I mean, you don't have to. It is what it is. We do this for fun, and as well as I do it for the people that watch. So if you enjoy what you see, hit the follow, not just on Twitch, but as well as subscribe on YouTube, and go check our Instagram and Twitter page, as we have constant uploads on both social media feeds. A lot to offer here in the Midwest F1 League, so by all means go check it out. The merch store as well is back up and running, so if you're interested in that, let me know and I will post it into the chat for you to take a look at. And if you can't see, or well, I mean, you can look at the bottom right of your screen as well if you're into Raise Energy in a non-sugar energy drink. Go check them out. And oh, impossible. Easy there, my friend. Raise Energy has 15% off with code MWF1. So go check that out as well if you like non-sugar energy drinks. I've heard a lot of good things from Raise Energy. So, by all means, go check it out and go let me know how much you like it. But we'll get back to the action here. We didn't really leave the action, but we'll get back to commentating the action. We got a nice little train from 5th to 8th here. Daltonian is actually looking to be jumping up potentially 2 positions. It could happen. Oh my goodness gracious! What? Knuckles, what? Dude. Okay, well, Knuckles is set to finish 8th here. Kaz is still in Sector 2. And oh my god, I need an instant replay of that. Jesus. That was just like swerve, then just like smash. But anywho, we'll get on board with Ray here, as Ray is about to enter Sector 3 in the Carlin of Daruvala. Red Bull Junior driver, if you can guess. But anywho, Ray finishing up the final turn as he comes down the pit straight and is doing little victory squiggles. Over the line goes Ray for, I believe it's his first win in the Midwest F1 League. Jeanette to win it as well follows in second, and Impossible is going to do the double with a double podium here. Third in both, actually. Now we'll see what AE Daltonian can do as he's coming around the final corner. He's got to hope that Chunky doesn't lose too much time to hotspot. Should be good, and actually, oh my god, AE. Ooh, it's a drag race to the finish. Oh, so very close. 0.7 of a second. Both end up overtaking Hotspot as Hotspot drops down to 7th. Knuckles, after that gnarly crash, which I don't know how he did not die from, comes over the line in 8th. That's a bot. Shrewd's a bot. Is Nikki a bot? Nikki's not a bot. Is VTech a bot? VTech is not a bot. Let's see. It looks like VTech is going to overtake Nikki when this finishes up here. Ooh, Nikki. A little bit of fishtailing. Both drivers come over the line. Knowing that the drag doesn't really mean too much, they just come over. And that's all she wrote. But congratulations to Ray with the win. There you go. Okay, I'll finish that up later. Sounds good. Okay. We'll come over with our sprint race finishing orders. Ray moves up 1 spot and takes the win. El Majaco up 3 for 2nd. Impossible Bacon as well as up 3 for 3rd. Super Nunez as well as up 3 for 4th. And Chunky Corgi breaks the streak and moving up 4. Come on, Chunky. For 5th, but well done to Chunky Corgi. A Daltonian into 6th. Like I said, Dam's with a good day. Campos in 7th. Knuckles 8th. Kaz 9th. Actually, Dam's with a good sprint race, sorry. If you actually know a good day, because Impossible double podium. Okay, VTech 10th. Nikki 11th. Giroud 12th. JC 13th. Marky Mark 14th. Jinnit to win it 15th. Does he have enough laps done? No, he doesn't. TB7 Racing 16th. Young DJ CJ in 17th. And just going to scroll through it for you to see the last feature race finishing order there. Jinnit to win it, of course, with the win there. Still getting good position, getting good points. Unfortunately, did not get points in the sprint race, but well done. Still unlucky stuff. But thank you everyone for viewing and stopping by. Very much appreciated. Be sure to tune back in tomorrow as we will once again be going live for our Division 1 once again from Monaco. So being looking forward to that. Hoping everyone has a good rest of your Wednesday. I am going to finish mine off with some soccer practice, so I'm looking forward to that. But thank you once again for tuning in. I will leave you with this, and you have a good night.